Welcome to season 4 of the Be Your Own Kind podcast. I am so excited to share some new ideas and experiences with you and also introduce some more wonderful and fantastic people on the platform. Be sure to visit our site, www.beyourownkind.com, to be able to keep up with the latest news and the latest blogs and content. Also, we have a Facebook community that involves giveaways, touch base, and exclusive deals. If you like the content, be sure to tip your girl a matcha tea on Ko-fi, located at ko-fi.com/be your own kind 24. Thanks again for your continued support and enjoy the episode. Hello, this is Renita, and this is season 4. Yeah, season 4 of Be Your Own Kind podcast officially. There was a couple of soft episodes, which was the 2 cents. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying the 2 cents. It's just me listening to my gossip YouTube all day, and as I work, I work remotely or whatever, and then me coming back and having opinions on like what, But as you know, this is a personal development platform, so I also like to have things like our mini-sode. As you can see, I have changed all of my monikers pretty much in my social media, and now it's just Be Your Own Kind 24. If you like what you see, and you're watching this on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, please, please, please. And also, if you also like what you see, you can also donate to you can tip a matcha tea at ko-fi.com at Be Your Own Kind 24. Apparently I'm supposed to be putting things on there daily as well. Oh geez, I need a virtual assistant, y'all. But anyway, in this mini-so, I just wanted to talk about I just want to give a little story about the people pleaser thing, because as you saw, the title was a surviving people pleaser. So, in 2020, I was just like flooded with a whole bunch of emotions because, like I said, I had a in-office job that turned remote when the pandemic hit, and so I'm just in this house like all the time, like with all my thoughts and all my emotions, and just drowning in all of it, right? So, I was talking to my boss, and she was just like, well, do you have a therapist? And I'm like, I do not. So I actually caught one before everyone realized they needed one. So it was kind of easy for me to get one. And I told her like 15 minutes of, what was going on. And she read back, like she said, well, I think that you just have the case of being codependent. Okay, explain. And so she just read me like a book, like in like 10 seconds. She just summed me up. I mean, she's a professional, she's supposed to do that, but it was just like she was just so on point about what the issue was. It's just being codependent. Just living my life to validate others and seeking self-validation by doing some things that are possibly outside of my character, just for the sake of somebody to like me. I literally do not like it when people don't like me, so I would do anything to get people to like me, which would be compromise who I was. It cost me a lot of money, it cost me a lot of time, just trying to get somebody that likes me. And I speak in present tense because, like anything that we realize we do obsessively, if we don't remember that is like our, I guess, addiction, of being liked, in my case, then you forget. And you continue that behavior. So I like to remind myself by saying I'm a surviving people pleaser, because that is what I am. When I did realize, that I had this urge to be liked, it was hard for me to say no, and I would just run myself like to the ground, like run myself ragged just for someone to like me. I realized that with all that compromising and all that editing, I lost myself. I didn't even like me at one point. So I'm going through all of this, trying to get people to like me, bending over backwards, and the one person that I should like is me. And I was talking to a life coach. I had one like a free sessions, and she had me look in the mirror. And I was to say nice things about me every day. And the first day that I did that mirror, I honestly couldn't think of anything. Not that I didn't think that I had wonderful things about me. It's just I forgot who the hell I was, like for real. Like, what are you good at? Kind of like it was like in question mark form because I had spent majority of my life bending over backwards once again to like everyone else. Then I think of, because I'm a Christian, I think of God, right? I think of how He gives us freedom of choice to be who we want to be. He doesn't pressure us. If we choose Him, which we should, we can, but if we don't, He'll still be right there. He doesn't require me to bend over backwards for Him. He loves me anyway. I can't out-sin His love. I can't. I can't. There's nothing I can do to make Him unlove me. And I kind of adapted that to like my relationships here on earth. Like if I have to compromise who I am, if your cup is never full and I'm never enough, maybe you're just not the person that needs to be pleased. And then you think of well, when I think of it when as being a people pleaser, I also never even looked for to be pleased. Like never like required my needs to be met because I didn't know them. So it's not like I could, you know, um, or put demands on people because I didn't even know what I needed. I didn't even know what I wanted because I didn't know who the hell I was. And so within therapy, I, read a book about codependency, and it changed my life. It's called Codependent No More. Yeah, it's Codependent No More by Melody Beattie, which I wish that she was available because I would love to interview her because her book changed my life. It changed my life. And I started reading like why I was codependent, like how that started. And basically how it started was just in childhood, basically. I was the only child for 12 years, and the cousin that was older than me is about like maybe 12, 13 years older than me. So it's like I was kind of like the only child, and so I didn't get much. You would think that I had got, excuse me, like a lot of attention, and I did, but not in school. Like I was always awkward. you know I wasn't, I was considered, lame and a nerd and things of that sort, and heavy set girl, so nobody took me serious. So I would try to make friends, and it was just so hard. Then I realized, like, one day, like, somebody said they liked something, and I'm like, I like it too. Now imagine, I have no idea what they're talking about, but that one moment, it was like a light bulb, like, oh my god, this person is my friend because I like the same thing they like, even if I don't like it. And so, of course, that it starts off innocent, and then you get older and you get older, and then you just start liking what everybody else like, not really liking it, but fake liking it. So when, to make a long story short, when I started talking to my therapist, and she started giving me exercises to get more in tune with me, to get more acquainted with me. That's why I have this right here in the corner, that you're the most fantastic person you'll ever know. And it's true. I realized how fantastic I am. Why I am the most fantastic person that I know, and why you are the most fantastic person you know, because you're always with you. So of course, if you rocking with you all day, you have to be rocking with somebody fantastic. You are fantastic, you are wonderful, and you're not an accident, and you are enough. And if you are enough for yourself, you're enough for the right people in your life. So anyway, I started doing those exercises, and it helped me. Now, the worst thing about learning yourself is the fact that if you've been putting up a facade for so long of who you are, those existing relationships, it may make it, but it'll be some bumpy roads, just for the simple fact is some of the people in your life only liked you based off of the facade that you put on. So when you put on your real self and you're setting boundaries in this, they're like, well, who are you? You've changed. And in your mind, you're like, no, I've always been like that. But no, I wasn't. I was whatever anybody wanted me to be, because it was always the fear of, if I am the real me, will they even still be around? Will I even still have friends? So I did lose some friends as being myself, and it did hurt. But then I realized, like, do I really want people in my circle that don't really love me for me? That only love me for what they thought I was or what they thought I can give them and add to them, and it wasn't their fault that they didn't like the real me, because I never gave them the chance to even know the real me, because I was a fraud at the beginning of the relationship. So that is something I had to forgive myself for, you know. Years later, which is what, 2022, I am much better with boundaries. I'm much better with connecting with people, because if they like what they see, it's awesome, and if they don't, you know I have to ask myself, well, that's okay, because my husband actually was like, well, do you like everybody? And I'm like, no. He was like, well, then why would you expect everybody to like you? We're all acquired taste to whatever people, but it's a billion people in this world, and you gotta be somebody's taste. You know what I'm saying? But before you can be anybody's taste, you have to be your own taste. You have to love you and know who you are, what you like, what you stand for, what you won't stand for, because people are only going to mimic how they treat you of how you treat yourself. Yeah, people are only going to respect you on the same level as you respect yourself. So if it looks like you're not even respecting yourself, and you're not into you, and you're respecting respect from everybody else, it's impossible, because people mimic. I think we do it subconsciously, but we mimic people off of how people treat themselves and the things that they say about themselves. And the most beautiful person in the world is the most confident person in the world. There's a people that can just walk in a room and people are just driven to that person and don't even know why. It's because they walk in there and they sure of themselves. They know that they that girl, so, or they that man. They have that confidence, you know what I'm saying? Because they know who they are. So with any relationship, I would tell anybody, if you are single, get acquainted with yourself. I feel like most of my single years was trying to not be single. You know what I'm saying? And I missed that opportunity to get to know myself. And even married, I have that opportunity in that space to have getting more acquainted with myself. And I feel like by me doing that has improved my relationship with my husband, my familiar relationships, my friendships, and such and such and such. It's just like, because I know who I am. And so I can tell people how to love me. I can tell people things that hurt my feelings. I can tell people things that make me feel good. I'm more appreciative of my support system, because those people have adhered or heard me when I say those certain things and when I express those certain things. And even if it is too much for people, that's fine. But I'm not going to tolerate that. If that's too much for you, then if I am too much for not allowing a person to just walk all over me just for the sake of serving them or the sake of them being comfortable, then you might just need to scurry on to someone else. I feel like time is precious. I can't get it back, and I don't want to spend it with someone where I don't feel comfortable being myself. I just don't. I've wasted enough time with that. So, if you are a surviving people pleaser, then you can pretty much resonate with this. And for anyone who is realizing, that they are a people pleaser, the first thing to do is just, I'm not going to say stop. I'm never going to tell you to snap out of it, but just think of, with all that people pleasing, where do you fit in that? How are you like benefiting from that? Where's the self-care there? Where's the respect there? Where is the patience there? Is what you're doing being reciprocated by anyone in that circle? Or when you do think of self, are you being gaslighted and made to feel bad for any decisions that you make that serves you? These are things that I have to ask myself when people ask me to do things, because yes is my automatic answer. I have to separate. Hey, are you doing this because you want to do this out of the goodness of your heart? Or are you doing this in fear of the person being mad at you or the person not liking you? Because if I'm doing it for that second reason, is it really genuine? It's not. it's just still a form of pleasing someone else. And it's okay to say no, because sometimes you're just tired, or sometimes you just don't want to do it, and that's your human right. That's your human right to be able to say no. It's not selfish, it's self-preservation. There's a difference between selfish, and we all know what selfish is. We see it all every day on social media. But if you know that you are a giver and you know who you are, it's okay to say no and preserve that energy and that time and that love for yourself and for someone else. It's okay. So I said all that to say is, if you are a surviving people pleaser, I tip my hats off to you, and I wish you well on this journey as we embark on this together. And I would love for anyone to contact me up there at www.beyourunkind.com in the chat, and tell me your experiences being a people pleaser, or ways that you deal with being a people pleaser, or boundaries that you've set, and the progress that you made. I would love to hear that. And if you're watching this on YouTube, just put it in the comments for me, or Facebook in the comments. If this is audio, you can go to the chat and we can just chat about it. And I would love to know your thoughts on this. So until next time, don't forget to be kind to yourself. Don't forget yourself. Don't forget yourself, because once again, you are the most fantastic person you'll ever encounter. Ever encounter. So be sure to be kind to yourself and to be kind with others with discernment. And until next time.